Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I must say the puzzle hunt on Patreon is proving extremely interesting. I'm going to admit it's harder than I thought when we first put it up. It's really taxing people, but they are telling us that there's great satisfaction in getting through each puzzle one after the other, and I don't know, I find it always very satisfying when solving a Sudoku leads on to a larger goal, like a full hunt with an answer. I do recommend it. I also recommend our Christmas merchandise. If you look at the store under the video and on the store link from the Cracking the Cryptic main site, that will lead you to some very items that, in our terms, they're flying off the shelves, but proving very popular. Do have a look there for mugs and hoodies and shirts and all sorts of goodies. And as always, the Discord is very busy with people posting puzzles for each other to try and discussing things. You can even get help on the hunt if you are careful about spoilers there, so very much worth visiting. This puzzle came in actually quite a while ago, but getting around to it now, from Trevor Tao. And if you remember that name, it might be because you associate it with the previous puzzle I did with the same rule set. Now, you would think that that's going to give me an advantage, but I've entirely forgotten doing that previous puzzle, so I'm starting from scratch. The rule set is a bit like Sandwich Sudoku with a variance. So the clues outside the grid do add certain digits between either 1 and 9 or 2 and 8, but between 1 and 9 in the row, they add the even digits, and between 2 and 8, they add the total of odd digits. It is for the solver to discover which clues are from the 1 and 9 set and which from the 2 and 8 set. And normal Sudoku rules apply, and that's it. No given digits in the grid, not even all the clues around the outside, just 2/3 of them. Do give it a try on the link below the video. This will probably be one you need to keep your head clear for, so this may be a bad time for me to be attempting it, but I'm going to give it a go. So let's get cracking and see how we do. If you're trying it, it's the link below the video, of course. Now, okay, a 1 clue. That can only be the odd digits in between 2 and 8, because you couldn't have that in a regular Sandwich Sudoku. So the reason I've put these clues around the outside of the grid is because I thought ahead. I'm going to colour them if I can find out what sort they are. So let's go with orange when we're adding up the odd numbers. Of course, every odd number around the grid is going to be orange. Let's start with that, because you can add up any number of even numbers and you will always get an even number, whereas there are at least some totals of odd numbers, i.e. if you're adding an odd number of odd numbers, which give you an odd number. Right, and I see that all of these clues are juxtaposed across the grid, so every time we get a clue, there's a clue at the other end of the grid. And obviously, if one clue in one row or column is doing the odds, then the one at the other end is doing the evens. So I'm going to colour all of those blue. And I've already done something wrong. For some reason, I still have that highlighted. That's better. Okay, don't make mistakes like that early on. In fact, don't make them later or at all. Right, and the 2 clue, that was what I was going to do after doing the 1 clue. A 2 clue cannot be the odd digits sandwiched between the 2 and 8 for a number of reasons. So that is counting the evens between the 1 and 9, and the other end 14 must be odd. So we have a 14 of each colour next to each other there. But now what can we do? How do we get digits in the grid? Look, yes, okay, yes. Look at these columns and these rows. These are all interesting. The reason they're interesting is because the sum of the two sums in each row and column highlighted is 35, which is normally the maximum number of in a sandwich Sudoku, because 2 to 8 add up to 35. So now, even if you were using 2 and 8 as the crusts in your whole sandwich Sudoku, 35 would still be the maximum number, because if you take out 2 and 8 and you put in 1 and 9 instead, which also add up to 10, it's the same sum. Put another way, 45 minus 2 and 8 is 35, and 45 minus 1 and 9 is 35, 45 being the total of 1 to 9. So what all that is telling me, is that much more simple way of looking at things, just tweak this. 25 is the sum of all the odd digits. 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 add up to 25. 20 is the sum of all the even digits. Right, so in these rows, with the 25 clue, all the odd digits are between 2 and 8, and a sum of 10 in even digits is between the 1 and the 9, which are amongst those odd digits. So what that is telling me is that the outsides, the perimeters of these rows are 2 and 8, sandwiching all the odd digits in them and 6 and 4, which make 10. Now the 6 and 4 must come between the 1 and 9, wherever they appear. But that doesn't necessarily mean that these cells are all 1s and 9s, because it could be these, say, as long as these two were 6 and 4. So I get this X-wing on 2s and 8s. Now on the 15 and 20, it's the other way round. 20 is sandwiched between 1 and 9 and is 2, 4, 6 and 8. And yet 15 is between 2 and 8 on the inside of that. So the outsides are 1s and 9s. And again, 2 and 8 could theoretically be in those cells, but in practice you could have maybe they do have to be the next cells in. Do they have to be 2 and 8? Well, no, they couldn't be here, for instance, because that 20... Oh no, the 7 would be between the 2 and 8. I'm not sure. I'm trying to work this out in my head. Sorry. If they weren't 2 and 8... No, they don't have to be 2 and 8, because you could have 4 and 6 there with a 2 or 8 here. So it's not certain. Okay, let's have a look at this X-wing of 1s and 9s. Oh, and of course, yes, the 1 and 9 in this row can sandwich a single 4. So, but you can't have 4 in both cells in the same column. Oh, have I done something wrong? Oh no, the 4 doesn't have to be the even clue. It could be 1 and 3, in which case 1 would be in the sandwich and 3 would be out. These central cells all have to be 2, 4 and 8, because they are either a 4 enclosed between a 1 and 9, giving a 4 like that, or they are an 8, or a 2 or 8, with a 1, 3, 4 going one way or the other, possibly with an intervening further digit. No, look, of course, this is the sensible way to look at it. That 10 is too big to be the even clue sandwiched between the 1 and 9. So 10, right, that's much more logical. 10 is the odd clue, 4 is the even, so that is a 4. Just as I suspected at first, but then I suspected this was 4. But this isn't a 4, so that is the odd clue down here. That's the even one, and this works fine, because now that's an 8. Okay. So my original pencil marking was valid, but just not sufficient. Now, somewhere down here, that 8 is going to bound a 1, a 3, and a maximum of one other digit before the 2, because look at these 2 8 pairs. They're preventing 2s being in both of those cells. So we could either go 8, 1, 3, 2. Yes, there's no extra digit. 8, 1, 3. And we cannot have a 2 here because look at that 2 clue, which is adding up the even numbers. The even 2 comes between 1 and 9. So it's not there, it's there. And finally, I've seen a way to actually get some of these pairs disambiguated. So 1 and 9. Ah, and that 2's in the same box as that. And suddenly we have a, I don't know, feels like a start. What next? What next indeed? Ah, up here, we said that, well, I didn't say, I think at least one of these has to be 2 or 8. The only way that one of these is not 2 or 8, or indeed that both of them are not 2 and 8, is if 2 and 8 appears later after other even numbers, because 2 and 8 has to sandwich 3, 7 and 5. Ah, and the way to get 2 other odd numbers before 2 and 8 appear in one of these columns would be to put 4 and 6 in those cells, and that cannot happen. Therefore, I think 2 and 8 have to be there, because there's no way to get 2 and 8 extended down there because you can't put 4 and 6 in either pair of those cells. Right, and in this row, 7 is sandwiched between the 2 and 8, so we can fill in the 7. We get a 3, 6, 5 triple here from the box. Here, 20 is going to include all the even numbers in between 1 and 9, and I don't know much about that. It's probably time to start ticking off clues that I've actually done. So that's done, that's done. I'm going to colour these a different colour. Effectively, that 25 is done just from the placement of the 2 and 8. That 4 and that 8, they're both done. And again, effectively, these 20s are done because all the evens must come between 1 and 9. So let's colour all those green. Green clues are done. Blues are where I'm still to work out even numbers captured, and oranges are where odd numbers are captured. So what is going on in this top row? Between the 2 and 8, I'm going to make 10 in odd numbers, so surely that's the 9 and 1. Yes, 2 and 8 can only be in those cells, so one has to be one side, one has to be the other, and they have to either sit there or include the 6 in between. So 8's in one of those two cells, 2's in one of those two, and we know 2 cannot be there because of this 2 again, so 2 is here. 8 is one of these two. It's either 8, 6, or that's 8. So that can only be 6 or 8. Ah, 8, I think, cannot be here, because the odd clue in this row would have to be 25 if 2 was that far away from 8. So that's not 8, this is 8. I think that logic's right. That clue's now done. That feels all right. I think we're okay. Now, 2 and 8 there. So, and we can't have 2 and 8 here because we've got an 8 here already. So in one of these cases, it must be a 6-4 pair to get the 2 or 8 actually up to here. So one of those is 2 or 8, and one of those is 2 or 8. Is 2, in fact. One of those is 2, because it's in the box with an 8. And that means And I'm bearing in mind that these cannot be 2 and 8 because of the 2 and 8 already in the row. That means that wherever the 2's looking, it's looking up at an 8 here. Then there's a 2 there looking down at an 8 in one of these 2 cells. So one of those is an 8. I have no idea if this is how you're meant to do this. It's just how I'm doing it. And we still don't know the identity of these clues in column 1 and 2. Actually, sorry, what do we know about column 9? We know that the 8 and 2 surrounds a 1 and only a single 1 and even digits. So this must be a 146 triple. I think that's got to be right. But the 1 and 9 sandwich 14. So it's got to include the 8 and the 6. The only other way would be including the 8, 4 and 2. And we know that 1 comes between the 8 and 2. So I think 1 has to be here, 6 there. 9 has to be above them, and it can't be there because there's a 9 already in the row. So 9 is there. This is now 4. Yeah, both of these clues are done. And I think we have fulfilled the requirements. Yes, right. Now, 2 appears somewhere here and is sandwiched between 1 and 9 in column 8. But I don't know much about 1 and 9. In fact, 9 could even be in the central area. That's not actually all that helpful. 14 is sandwiched between 2 and 8 and is made up of even numbers. So 2 is here somewhere. 8. Okay, well 14 is clearly at least 2 even numbers. So 2 has to be in a different box from 8, and therefore the 8 has to be down in this box and has to be in this cell. That can't be 2. So it could be 9, 5 in those 2 and then 2. Or that could be 6 and 4, 6 or 4, and then 9, 5 here. You can't use 3 digits to add to 14. I think that's right. So I don't know where the 2 goes, and I don't know exactly where the 9 and 5 are, but this one must be 9 or 5, because it can't be 6 or 4. This is weird. Now, the 2 is sandwiched between 9 and 1, and the 5, 9 must come below the 2, so the 1 must be above the 2, so it must be up here somewhere. And it can't be here because it would be next to the 9, and one of those clues would have to be 0. Right, so 1 is there. So 1 is over here somewhere. And that's fine. We're looking for all the odd digits to be sandwiched between the 9 and the 1. In fact, it's quite unhelpful. And we've done the 7 clue. Okay. So where do I go next? Where do I go next? Got a bit stuck there. Did that have to be 6 or 4? No, that could be a 5, 9 pair with 2 there. In fact, that's quite likely. Now, what about these 25 and 10? We've done the 25s. The 10 mean that 6 and 4 are sandwiched between 1 and 9. So given the 6 is here, the 9 must be over here. That's not really... Oh, that was... Regular Sudoku would have told me that. And down here, I suppose it could be 9 there and 1 there. But it could even be 1 there and 9 there. That would still allow it. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Then how about this row? 1 is between the 8 and the 2. The 2 is here or here, and 8 is here. Where can 1 go between them? Not in this box where there's a 1 already, so it must go here. Now there could be evens. 6 and 4 could be there with 2 there, so I can't do that. But yeah, and I haven't solved that clue. Right, but this 12, now that can't involve the 8 in the sandwich, so it's got to be 6, 4 and 2 are sandwiched before the 9. So I know the 9's over here somewhere. Oops. But I don't know quite where it comes with 2, 4 and 6 before it. Oh look, these outsides, I know they're 3, 5 and 7 in some order, and that one's not 3. Now, 9 there and 9 there means one of these two is 9. And in this row, the 6 and 4 are sandwiched, the 1 is over here now. That's not really very helpful. Right, let's have a look down column 1. 2 and 8 are sandwiching either 6 in odd digits or 14. Well, the 14 could be 9 and 5. It would have to be the 6 would have to be 1 and 5. Well, the 5's in there, but with an even digit and either 1 or 9. That's not actually very helpful. Now this 2, now the only way this 0 clue could be applying to that 2 is if we had 6 and 4 here and 8 here. Yeah, that's nonsense, isn't it? Because then you'd have 1 and 9 here and they couldn't sandwich any even digits, so that's not appropriate. So the 1 and 9 are together, not separated by odd digits, somewhere in this column. The 18 there, so that's for the 1 and 9, so I'm colouring it blue, it's adding 0 even digits. So this is the orange one. So odd digits adding up to 18, so that's all of them except 7 are between the 2 and the 8. So 1, 3, 5 and 9, yeah, they add to 18, are between the 2 and the 8. So the 8 must be here. I should have looked at this a while ago. So this is 1, 3, 5, 9. 4, 7 and 6 go here. Now what's the other thing I'm doing? I'm putting 1 and 9 together. But I don't know if they're there or there. So that's not a 1, and that's not a 1, and that doesn't tell me everything. Yes, it does actually. Oh no, that can't be a 1 with a 9 there, but that could be a 1 with a 9 there. Okay, that's not. Right, 3, 5, 1 and 9 are there, so they're not here, so 9 is there. That's something gained. Now, how did these clues work? The 25 we've done, that's from putting the 8, 2 on the outside. The 10 is even digits between 9 and 1, so this has to be a 4. Yes, that's a 7, which is fine. 4 and 6 are at the top here, so I can fill them in. It actually looks like I haven't made a mistake yet, which rather surprises me, and maybe famous last words. Let's see how we keep going. So that 0 has not been done, but that 18 has been done. That's green. This 20, between the 1 and 9, we have all the even digits. Right, so we can put the 1 in here because we've got the 4 in. So that's done. That gets rid of that one possibility. It forces the 3 up here, and we can complete a box. 1, 4, 5, 2, 7, 8, 9. 3 and 6 are a pair here. That is no longer 3. In fact, the 3 in the column now has to be here, thanks to that pencil marking from earlier. That's part of a 5, 7 pair. Right. 2 is sandwiched between 1 and 9. Okay, I still don't know how that goes. 14 is the total of odd digits between 8 and 2, which are 5 and 9. I still don't know how that goes. 10 is the total of even digits between the 1 and the 9, which are 6 and 4. I don't know. 10 there. 6 and 4, that is done effectively. Okay. Surely that 1. Oh no, it's not, because we could still have 6, 4, 2. Then we'd have 5, 7, 9 here. That could work. Okay, this 6 and 14, these have to be crucial now. Surely I can work this out. Oh, 2 and 8. Oh yeah, we didn't know. Right, it doesn't contain 5 and 1 to make 6 because we've placed the 1. So it contains 5 and 9 to make 14 and an even digit. That means that's not a 9. 7's down here somewhere, not getting in the way of that sum. The 14 is adding the odd numbers. The 6, therefore, is adding even numbers between the 1 and 9. 2 and 4 comes before the 9. So one of those is 4. We've got a triple of 4, 5, 9 here now, which is going to fix this cell at least. 3 there, 4, 5, 9. So we've got 7, 6 down here now. 4, 5, 9, 8, 3. Ah, this is a 1 as well. And now 1 has to be next. Oh no, it only has to be next to 9 in terms of not having even digits between them. So that was nonsense. Okay, but this can't be a 1 now. So 1 is here. And actually 9 we've confined to there because 9's over here. This can't be 9. That's 5. That's 9. If I said 1 had to be next to 9 here before, which I think I did, that was not right. And luckily I never acted on it and I've got away with getting confused. 4 there to complete column and box. So this 18 clue is done. Yes. 9, 5, 1, 3. This 14 clue is actually, it's not done yet because I don't know exactly. In fact, that 6 clue is not done yet, but this 0 clue is. Okay, that's fine. Yes, do I know how these go? The 6 clue says 4 comes before 9. The 14 clue says, no, it just says they're all sandwiched between 8 and 2. So I have not done those yet. Right. 9, 4, 1, 8, 3. So this can't be 2 anymore. I think the only way that could have been 2 is if 6, 4 were here. So that's 2. That fixes the 8, 2 at the top. That's not 2. 5, so that could be 5 or 6 by Sudoku. Now the 1 has been confined between the 2 and 8, so that's done. The 12, between the 1 and the 9, we have 2, 4, and 6. So that's not 6. This is a 5, 6 pair, and that's fine, so that clue's done. 5, 6 pair, that's a 3, flanked by a 4 and 7. What's this 10 clue saying? That's the even digits between 1 and 9, which are 3 and 7. So 6 has to be outside the 1 and 9, and that goes there. That's a 5 or 7. We can put 4 in. 4, 8, 6. That's sorted out the 3, 6 pair. Still haven't sorted out that 5, 7 pair. Right, here, 14 comes between 2 and 8. Ah, yes, we knew this was either an even number and then 5, 9, which it must now be, or a 5, 9 pair together. So we're placing the 2, that fixes this as a 7. We've actually got a 5, 9 pair there. Much good may it do us. Ah, 7, 8, 3 triple here. Yes, sorry, that 5, 9 pair does do us some good. It fixes the 7, 5 at the top. Now, I've still got these 15s not shown as used. I don't think I can do column 1 anymore. Column 2, this is... Ah, that is done. No, that's done. Yeah, I can colour that. This 14 is between the 8 and 2. That's done as well. That 14, yeah, I said I couldn't do column 1. So it's got to be these 15s to disambiguate everything else. Although, hang on, that's just naked single time. Maybe there's more regular Sudoku. That's 4 or 5. No, let's have a look at these 15 clues. What are they saying? Really have to concentrate on this every time. Between the 2 and the 8, the odd numbers add up to 15. Ah, yes, this is where we had 2 and 8 there, and the only way we could have 2 and 8 there is with even numbers below the 8. So that fixes 4 and 6. I remember. Beautiful. That's now a 6. 1, 2, 9 to go in here. Naked single 1 with a 2, 9. Those can't be 6. These clues are now done. 2 and 8 must contain 753. 2 and 8 here must contain 753. Actually, that's quite helpful resolving how they go. So those clues are done. 5, 7, 8, 1, 2, 9, 4, 6, 3. I can fill them in, which is a great relief. 6 disambiguates the 2, 6 pair. That sorts out the 2, 9. That sorts out the 5, 9. This is a 9 to complete the row. 4 and 5 by Sudoku and 8 and 7 by Sudoku, and that is the answer. Let's just check off this 10. Between the 1 and 9 we have 3 and 7. This 14. Between the 2 and 8 we have 9 and 5, and the 6 between the 1 and 9. Oh my god, that's wrong. Oh my god. How can that be wrong now? That is wrong. Oh, not at this stage. Surely this was going to be right. It has to have the 2 and 4 before the 9. Oh no, Mark. And yet this can't be a 9, that can't be a 9. This is forcing that to be a 9, and that is breaking the puzzle. How about that being a 9? Then that would have to be a 1. That doesn't work. Oh my goodness gracious. Good God. This was right though. That had to be an 8 with the 4, 6 beneath it. That had to be right. You don't want to see a grown man cry. That had to be right. 8 with the 4, 6 beneath it. Then you're ending up with a 7, 3, 5. I'm going to go again with 8 and 4, 6. The 2 and 8 are going to hold 7, 3, 5. 6 makes that 5, and that's 7. This one's a 5. I don't know how I undid that. 4, 7, 3, 5, 8. That's now 7, 8, 3. They're all resolved. That makes this 5 and 3. That's probably exactly the same way we did that before. 4, 6, 3. 1. And a 2 and 9 there. And that's still putting this 9 here. That's breaking this puzzle clue. Is it something to do with the 4s and 6s? Let's take all those out and all those. Because we don't have a cross clues, so we can't be breaking things with that. 1 can go anywhere here, although it now has to be, well, No, that's why I put the 1 in there. So let's forget that. 1 and 9 with no even numbers between them, but they could be swapped as well. Yeah, that would be all right. Why have I had 3, 5, 9? Because of something I did over there. Right, what is the problem here? 9 has to have 8 and 6 before 1, but not 4. Has to be 6, 1, 4. That has to be right. And that makes this 4, and that makes that 9, and it breaks. I can't see it. Something's gone badly wrong there. What a disaster. Maybe one day you'll see this as a blooper video. And maybe you won't. Sad day.